Okay, just going to start you off with a quick bench. So create new component and just call it side, and just get into the habit of saving this as bench. Press OK. So I'm going to start off by making the sides of the bench. Create sketch on the bottom, and I'm going to create a circle, center diameter circle, and I'm going to bring that out to 10 millimeters. Doesn't matter about the size. And I'm going to C, actually the shortcut is C for center circle. And on the same line, along that green line, I'm going to make that 7 millimeters. So it's a bit smaller. And then stop your sketch. Next thing to do would be to create a sketch. Instead of being on the bottom, I'll do it on this right hand plane, if you like. And I'm going to create a spline. So spline is like a curvy line. And I'll make that curve from the center, by the way, from that center, and you can see that circle, there you go, it clicks onto the center just like that. So I've stopped the sketch, and you can see I've got this curve which goes to the center of each circle. Now what I'd like to do is to put this tube shape, and to do that I will loft, and it's asking me the loft profile. So that one is the first profile, that one is the second profile. The rail, which is its guide, and its a rail type is a center line, and that's my rail type, and then just press OK. So now you can see that I've got this, if you like, solid tubular shape which goes from a big circle to a smaller one. It's kind of modern and funky. Now then, I would like another one of those. So the way to do that, if you're unfamiliar with that, is to click whilst the side is activated, and then right or two finger click if you haven't got a mouse, and then go to copy. You then go up to the bench, activate the full bench, and then you come back down, click on the side, and then right click, and then you paste. And as you can see, I'll just pan that down so it's easier to see. I can then drag that, the second one, so my bench has got two sides. There you go. And then just press home if you like. Now the next thing to do will be to create a new component. So I know I've got these two sides. If I was in that one, you can see that that one becomes deactivated. Now to create the seating area, I've got to go back to activate the full component and then go to create a new component. And I'm just going to call this the seat. And they both go like a light grey because they're not activated. Now I'm going to switch the origins back on, and I'm going to construct an offset plane from this plane, and I'm going to drag it about halfway. There we go. Now I want to draw on this, so if I go to sketch, create sketch, and then draw on that one, so I've clicked on that one, I can now draw a seat. So I'm going to go down to spline again, and I'm just going to pan down so I can see the proportions that I'm doing it. Press escape. And let's say I can start it around here, and then it'll come down, and then we'll create this seat. There we go. A bit like that. And then press OK to finish. Now I'd like the same line, it's got to have thickness to it. So if I go back to my sketch icon and then go to offset, I can click offset that, drag the arrow, so I've got this bench that has got some thickness, and press OK. Now I couldn't extrude this profile because it's not sealed. So if I go to sketch, arc, a 3-point arc between here and here, I can just round off the top and just round off the bottom, and it turns yellow, which that means I can now extrude it. There we go. So now I can go to create and extrude that profile. Now I'm going to do it 2 sides, and when I do this, it might help if I look at the top and then just click on my fit arrow. Oh no, maybe not. That way. And then drag the one side out, so it's just might get that to cut into. We'll bring that level, but we'll zoom in a minute, and I'll bring that to the edge. Now if I just pan and then zoom in, I can probably drag that a little bit more and closer to that edge. That's as far as I want to go. And then pan across. Then find that side, escape, and drag that equally on each side. Click on home. So now I've got this sort of bench shape that I can sit on. Now that's going to collect water, and making that's going to be quite tricky as well. So I want to put some grooves down the side. So if I go to sketch, create sketch on this face and zoom in, and just use the pan. Now if I go to sketch a line from, let's say, there to there, and then another line from there to there. Now they're not parallel, and I want them parallel, so I can click on my parallel tool. So I'd like this line and this line parallel, and you can see that they jump, and that's not a problem. Just hit escape so it's not on the parallel option, and then just drag that, and you can see, look, it follows the line all the way. So I can drag that one, and I can also, can I drag that? That allow me to drag? Yeah, I can drag that down a little bit. And then just press stop the sketch. Now I'm just going to twist that so I can see that a bit more in 3D. And you can probably do this many ways, but I find if I extrude that just a small amount to begin with, there we go, and then just say OK. Now if I create a pattern on a path, and let's just zoom out and escape. If I go down to the last extrusion there, those are my faces that I'd like to make a pattern of, and the path is this path, and I can now drag that down. Okay? So I'll drag that down, and then I'll say I would like 4 of those. Drag that along a little bit more. You can see where I'll do that a bit more. Let me, let's see what happens. So press OK. Now you can see that's a bit of a mess. It kind of doesn't make sense, does it? So if I double click back into there, and the orientation should be the path direction. And now I should be able to drag that arrow a little bit further. Yeah. And then maybe let's have 5. And then press OK. So now I've got these slats, if you like. And the best way to then create and extrude is click on each face. And then look from the top, and then you can drag and cut all the way through, oops, a bit far, to the edge, and then just press OK, and then on the home key. So as you can see, I've cut that into little sections, and I'll click on the whole bench, and as you can see it reactivates these pieces here. So I've got my bench, some basics of a bench, and you've got some new techniques there. Obviously this would just fall to bits, so I'd have to make some supports to hold this, but there gives you some basics. Then I can put it into my render mode. Those of you who've forgotten how to do this, switch off my origin, don't want that. First thing to do would be to give it some material. So the chrome, I'm going to make these chrome. There it is. Do the top chrome, and they should also be chrome. I'll go down to the wood, solid wood, and let's have a nice finished cherry. Drop that onto one, and then drag that onto the next. So I've got this bench, sort of modern looking. Then click into my scene settings, get a reflection, click on environment, and there you go. And then let's pan that a little bit, and then zoom in, see if I can get a, there we go. Now as you can see it's kind of a bit faded around the edge, a bit jaggedy. I can go on the environment by the way, and I could change all my lights. It's automatically on sharp lights, but I could take a grid light for example, so just click and drag or double click and then close. Now I want to make that look super sharp, so I'll click on my in-canvas render settings. It's defaulted to advanced, you don't want that. Click on fast, press OK, and then press play. So that will take a minute or so, and you can see already, there you go, it's just beginning to sharpen up. I'll just let that run for a few more seconds till it starts to sharpen it up a little bit more. There you go. So let that run for a couple of minutes and you'll find yourself with a bench that looks pretty realistic. I hope that helps.